Welcome to What the Theory with Joel. I'm Joel, and I'm here with. No, I'm trying to be serious.
Okay,
I'm
sorry.
trying to be serious.
Okay.
I'm here with
Michelle.
also known as,
Michie B.
also known as
That's it.
the baddest in the room.
No, not the
Any
baddest.
room that you're in, you're the baddest.
No, not even.
Okay. Yeah. We're discussing how she was going to introduce herself, and
Yeah.
I think we've settled on it. So, Michelle, you are.
I am a marketing professional.
Ocho.
Been in the game for quite a while, like
Really
12
in the
years.
game?
Yes, because if you count because I started working in Essex back, so if I count 2009, that was 2009.
Okay.
Yeah, so I've been.
Because I've been working also for like 13, 14 years, so.
Yeah, What do we have to show for ourselves?
We have some money. We're okay. Look at our hair. Look at the way we're dressed. We're
I'm
okay.
dead,
We're
I'm
fine.
dead.
Look at how many things you have in your ear.
Oh gosh.
Show them your.
My pins.
Yeah.
I got 4
I'm also
piercings.
intrigued having you show your hair. You should just come from the salon.
That's why you're reporting me now.
Michelle is my family member.
Yes.
Is my cousin.
Cousin.
Our beautiful mothers are cousins.
Yes.
So I think that's how we're related. But I also count you as a friend.
Yes, I'm your friend.
Yeah, because I love you.
I love you too, Joel.
I was trying to say to her, no one has said I love you in a while to me, so I wanted to.
No, I love you. You know I love you. You know I do.
Yes, we're going to get uncomfortable. So today, I wanted you to come on for us to talk a little bit about family and family dynamics.
Yeah.
But before that, I guess I wanted to ask, could you tell us a little bit about your family, the Baine family, and where you stand in that family? I've never heard you describe
Really?
your
But
family
also,
to people who don't know them.
That's true. That's true. Okay, so I come from a family of 5 kids. 4 now. I recently lost my eldest sister, Patricia. But we're 5. And mom and dad, Mr. Gregory and Mrs. Jane Baine.
You have such a cool name, eh? Greg and Jane. Okay.
Greg and Jane. And so it's Patricia, Fiona, Mark, Rachel, and I'm the last one. I had a conversation with someone yesterday and said I don't behave like a last one. Do you think so?
You don't. And I think we've discussed this several times. Yeah. You don't have, well...
I don't have last born tendencies.
You only have one last born tendency.
Which is which? Which one?
It's like, I don't know what they call it. There has to be a word for a seeming understanding that let's not take life to the grave. Let's not kill ourselves. Let's enjoy.
Let's enjoy.
So for you, you've been enjoying.
I really, really have.
You work hard, but you also play hard.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's
so firstborns, we have guilt, even when we're enjoying.
That's true. I had this conversation with Fiona recently, but yeah, she also feels that way.
Oh,
about
is she?
that. Well, firstborn from mom and dad. So, yeah,
okay.
but yeah.
Okay. All right. So in your family, describe your family members. I'll also do my description, but
Yeah.
I want to get your feeling.
From dad and mom, or from the siblings?
From dad and mom, then you go to the siblings.
Okay, so dad, well, you know him, he's a very interesting character. Very, very tough man. I would say strict, maybe not tough, strict, but also very generous. I think he really did the most for us growing up, you know this. All of us went to very good schools and, just sacrificed a lot for us to have what we have now. But yeah, he's a great guy. He's not been well for the past couple of years, but yeah, he's doing well. He's doing well. Mom has really done the most in looking after him. Primary caregiver, as we call her. But yeah, okay, that makes me move to mom. So Mrs. Jane Baine, a very, very beautiful woman. My father did well.
He chose wisely.
Yeah, he did. He knew what he was doing. And the story is when dad met mom, or saw mom when she was working in a bank, like back in the day, and he said, "I'm gonna marry this woman." And yeah, he did some shady stuff to try and get her. But I mean, I think the lady, someone at the bank, and said, "I need her details. You need to give me her details."
Oh, okay.
That's the shadiness. But
I thought you meant he committed like a fraud.
No,
They'll have to call me in, and then be like, "Hey, I was waiting for you to call me."
No. It was like, I think talked to her boss and said, "I need her details. You need to give me her, her number or whatever." And she's like, "You can't do that, But he buckled down and
He has a way of convincing people.
Vibed her very seriously. But yeah, so mom, she is a health enthusiast. She runs a business called Sleek and Slender in Nakasero. She's been doing it for over 20 years. She's very, very good at what she does. She's also, I would say, counselor. She does a lot of counseling and generally life coach. She's very good at that stuff. And yeah, she's just an amazing person. She reads a lot. Therefore, we read a lot. We don't have a choice.
You guys have a lot of books in the house. I remember when I was kids, you guys had a lot of books in the house.
But she says, of course, knowledge is power. So it's about, she reads a lot. She reads a lot. Okay, so that's mom. Patricia, my late sister, very, very wonderful person. The most understanding, I think, of all of us. Very liberal, very exposed, loved God as well. Very, very much. She was really a stunning human being. I don't know how else to describe. Also, it's a bit emotional, so I'll try not to. But she was great.
This is an emotion-friendly song.
No, you don't want me to cry on your podcast.
You can cry. Even me, I'll cry.
Oh, bollocks. But
I'll even get Senyika.
No, but of course, so Joel knew Goody as well.
Yeah.
She's a very, very smart person. She liked acting. I don't know why she never became an actress.
Yeah.
Remember, she used to do plays and stuff in Maryhill.
Yeah, and she entertained my stories. Yeah. And I would say, I've been dreaming about being the rabbit and I'm running against the hare. She'd be like, so how's the hare running? And now that I think about it, I was a little kid just trying to get attention from her, and she was...
Yeah, and she also could sing. She had a really, really beautiful voice. She really should have done that. But yeah, so that's Goody. Her nickname was Goody. And then after Goody is Fiona. Fiona is the A-star stellar student. Fiona, shout out. She studied human genetics and economics at the same time. She lives in South Africa right now with her husband and her child, Tamu. And yeah, she's just she took all the science from the family, actually. Because there's no one else who did sciences, it was just free. So I think it was just compounded.
I called her the friendly prefect of the family. Because whenever I'd come over, she'd be like, I think we've watched enough TV. I'm like, Fiona?
Not enough TV.
Yeah, she'd be like, there's enough TV, let's go and get some
Let's go do something
Or let's
else.
go and do some homework.
Friendly prefect. That's true. That's true. She's very, very nice. Anyway, all my siblings are nice. And Mark is a very funny guy. One of the reasons I'm called Michie B is because everyone used to call Mark B.
Mark B.
Yeah, everyone called Mark B. He's a friendly guy. He has 2 kids as well, and Lorene is his wife as well. Just a stand-up guy. Everyone loves Mark, or everyone loves Mark. He's just a bit low-key these days, but yeah, everyone loves Mark. And then Rachel, the artist of the family, she got married recently. Actually, Joel was the MC at their wedding.
She married one of my best friends.
Yes, called Joshua, and they've been married, I think it's going to be 3 years now, I think this year. Got married in 2020. She's the artist, she does interior design, she has a company called Mbaji. And yeah, and then lastly me.
They save the best for last.
You know? Yeah, as a last one, but yeah. Then come just down to me
the unmarried one.
Oh Lord, come now.
No, it's fine. We are unencumbered. We are still living our lives.
I'm dead.
It doesn't mean that we don't have love in our lives. You have love in your life, right?
I do have love in
You're in love.
Well,
he's watching this.
I know he's going to watch
So please, can you own your person?
Yes, you know that I'm the Mapenzies.
See the way she's laughing. She's just been on the phone with him.
Yeah.
So this is why she's excited. And how long has it been?
It'll be a year in August.
Yeah, and you're still beaming like this.
Yeah, he's so sweet. He's really a breath of fresh air.
Must be nice to be God's favorite.
No,
All right.
God's favorite.
All of us.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
you said you're going to describe your family, so.
Yeah, so I think let me describe my family. I'm the firstborn, so take it with a grain of salt. My parents, Charles and Serena, my mom has always been kind of like the fun-loving, outgoing type. She would have a party. But I think growing up, I was in temperament closer to my dad, but my mom was usually the one around. So there was a bit of a disconnect in that she would take me for parties, she would take me out for things, and I'd be like, I'm tired, I want to go home. But I learned how to socialize from her. I think they had the traditional breakdown of she's going to take care of the kids at home, and then he's going to be the guy at work. Although when they first got married, she worked at the European Union and was making way more money.
bank.
So I don't know how they negotiated that, but kudos to my dad.
Yeah.
Then my dad, now I can describe him in 3 phases. One, he was a very strict authoritarian, very, very tough,
Yeah.
very, very knowledgeable. And at a certain point in my life, I think he switched over, and I realized that he loved us very much, but he couldn't express it. He doesn't express it in words. He expresses it
As
by
a
being there.
General African man.
Yeah. His whole thing was,
Yeah.
I know I'm loving my
Provider.
kids when they don't have to worry
Yeah.
about where they're going to go to school,
Provider.
where they're going to have clothes. And so he would take on all these burdens that we didn't know about. So I feel like that was his love for us. And now it's kind of flipping. He's in his 70s. So I'm taking up a lot of the things that he used to do. So I have a new appreciation.
Yeah. The
For
dynamic has changed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then my siblings, I have 2 younger siblings, Edgar and Daphne. So Edgar, he's in Kigali right now. I think he likes the beauty of Kigali.
Who doesn't? Listen, last weekend we had a random invasion.
Good blankets was.
It was wow. Just girl upon girl.
That's why I was at this like the whole time.
No, those girls are stunning, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's into computer science. He's working at a company down there. But he's also, my brother, those people was like, I got a deal.
Yeah.
I'm working on a deal.
Yeah.
So I never fully know
what the deal is.
What he's doing. I'm just like, I hope you're okay. And then there's my sister, who's, I think, how can I describe her? She's the artistic one of the family. She's got an artistic temperament. She's also battling, to some extent, an anxiety issue. She's started to talk about it a bit more. And I think
love that for her.
now I think we're learning to deal with the fact that there are certain things that we can't fix just by ourselves. So, in fact, this is probably dovetailing into what I want to talk to you about.
Yeah.
I'll start with myself. I think the thing I'm learning with my family is that there was a time where things were easy.
Yeah.
Things are just flowing.
Smooth
Just the kid,
sailing.
dad is
Smooth
around. But then at a certain point, like right now, no one else in my family is working. It's just me. And so some of the duties that you traditionally think are my dad's are now mine.
And yours, yeah.
Yeah, and at some point I had to wrestle with them. And I think a lot of people wrestle with those things because I had to, my choice to come back to UG when I went for my master's in the US was, I need to come back home because I feel like
I'm needed here.
Yeah, they're not saying it, but they're sort of struggling. So I came back.
And you absolutely could have stayed in the States, by the way.
Yeah.
You were really flourishing.
And things were going to be really great. But there was a part of me, and I hate to admit it, but there was a part of me that had resentment. Because I came back and I was like, I'm doing all this stuff, but I left. I could have been somewhere and things could have been happening. And it's only now that I'm starting to understand that love doesn't have to be a pure feeling where it's only happiness, but that complication can be baked in. I could feel an anger, and then that anger could pass, or I could resolve myself around it. So,
and it's valid as well because you're thinking about what you're not giving up, but sacrificing in order. But I mean, at the end of the day, they sacrificed so much for us as well to get us where we are now.
Yeah.
So, and I think there's that thing with I call it parental guilt. Like we feel like we have to do something in return because they've done so much for us, and it's only expected, but it doesn't stop you from feeling how you feel at the end of the day.
Have you ever talked to your parents about it?
No, of course not.
You don't know how to begin.
How do you bring it up? Like, also, what are you saying? They'll be like, "Excuse me, I birthed you." Like, what do you mean you feel some kind of way? I mean, I think it's just important for us, and you may not necessarily talk about it straightforward with them like that, but boundaries. It's important to have healthy boundaries, and with any relationship that you have, I would think, even with the parents, because yes, you know that you should show up for them, but then you shouldn't do that and forget about yourself at the end of the day. It's a bit selfish, but sometimes it's necessary.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to say something that's a bit controversial. You might
As
not
per
agree.
usual.
No. So I've been walking around with this definition of what love is that helps me understand why it's difficult. Even if two people genuinely love each other, how it requires work. And it's that love is giving what you don't have to someone who doesn't want it.
Ooh.
So it sounds, at the beginning, sounds quite difficult, but this is how I understand it. So let's say, like my last relationship, I hope she'll be fine with about it.
Hey.
So my last, let me not talk about the last one, let me talk about the one before. So the one before, I learned something about myself in that I desire autonomy and a sense of independence, and then some quality time.
Correct.
So my failing is that I tend to be quite self-assured, I self-soothe, like I'm fine, and then I deal with you. So from her point, she wanted more time, she wanted more intimacy, she wanted me to lean on her a little bit more. So because of that, she would give me a lot of affection. Hey babes, how you doing? Like, and I could genuinely see that she's giving me love.
Yeah, but
I didn't want it.
You didn't receive it. You didn't know how to
couldn't.
receive
Yeah,
it.
it was coming to me, but I was like, I can't. I don't know what to do with this.
Men are wild. You're
Right.
weird.
So now this is the other thing. I think that for the longest time I knew how to play the game of this is how you're supposed to be when you're romantic. So I know, buy the flowers, I can do all those things because that's what she wants.
Yeah.
Right? So it's easy for me to know what she wants, but she didn't know what I wanted.
Your love language, basically.
Yeah, to a certain extent.
Yeah.
I think it's almost like there's a time she bought me scented candles.
Aww.
Right? I was like, this is
Love
very
a
sweet.
candle.
But then I was like, she used the candles. It's like, these are your, this was your gift, right? Like she got it for herself.
She wanted your house to smell nice.
Exactly, right. So now I think there was misrecognition there. There was misrecognition in that I loved her, and so I was giving her what I would want.
Yeah.
She was giving me what she wanted as well.
Okay.
But neither of us wanted the version of what we were giving each other. And
so, but did
our
you have the
relationship only
conversation?
became healthy. Yeah, so it only became healthy when we confronted that.
Cool.
And then with the other danger was we thought that just because we've spoken about it, it's going to change. And
Not
so at that point I
necessarily.
learned it's like, it's the habits, it's what you do
Yeah,
daily.
absolutely.
Like let me make it a habit. Like every day I'm gonna, she loves words.
Intentionally.
So let me find something intentionally and genuinely to say about it. And then when it becomes routine,
then
it's
it
no longer
becomes-
an effort. I'm like, this is how I sustain this relationship.
Yeah.
So I've said all of that to kind of say, what are the rituals in your family? Like, how have you guys? I think you guys are closer than me and my siblings.
Yeah.
And I think part of it is because for us, we were all like independent, and that independence has meant I do my own thing, you do your own thing. But when we come together, there's almost does this work for you? Like we still have to renegotiate those things. But I feel like you guys.
I think we're very close, that's true. We speak probably every day. I talk to Rachel every day, of course groups and stuff, but that doesn't necessarily mean you're close, because just chatting is one thing. But I think even growing up, close-knit, yes, we used to do everything together. Yeah. And because mom is, like I said, a counselor, psychology and all that stuff, madame books, always. So she gave us the opportunity to be friends as well. She allowed us to nurture our relationships, and I mean, we always as siblings would fight and everything, but we're actually I think we treat ourselves like friends as well. Mark, Rachel, Fiona, Goody as well, but even with mom, because mom, I would say, is a friend, because mom, first of all, mom has met all my exes.
All your people.
All the exes, and she's one of those, like, and she's open about it. So I remember, I can't remember who it was. Actually, I remember, but I'm not going to say. But there's someone that I was
Identify
dating.
them.
I will not. There was someone I was dating, and mom is like, she kept on hearing this name, and she's like, okay, so are we meeting him? Is it serious or is it a fling? Like, this is mom talking. So imagine how free that relationship is. And if you have that relationship with your parents, of course I wouldn't talk to dad like that, but kill me. But yeah, so talk to mom like that. So imagine if that's a relationship I have with mom, how easy it is with a sibling. Okay. I mean, me and Mark would actually, I think when I was younger, everyone had different stages of when we were super close to each other. Me and Mark were very close, because I think when I was in my mom's belly, I think they thought that I was going to be a boy. Yeah, so I think Mark was excited to have a brother, because now he had all these women.
It's like, we've got our women here.
Yeah, we're done. So I think that bond came from then, and then even up till now, we're pretty close. We talk all the time. There's nothing that I think we overshare, actually, to be honest.
Overshare?
I think we overshare with each other, at least me anyway. Okay. I'm trying to actually dial it back. I'm an explainer, in the sense that I over-explain, even with people. And I feel like I have to explain myself, but I'm trying to, with age anyway, as well. I feel like I'm learning how not to explain anymore. If it's a decision for me, and it makes sense to me, it's few people that I would have to explain to or feel accountable to, but I'm trying not to do that anymore.
Okay.
I think it's important.
No, I think it is. I mean, at no point when someone is explained to you, do you feel like, oh, I didn't need this. It's always effort. It's always appreciated. Like, okay, this person's taking the time. You feel important that they're telling you why something is happening or why they're upset or, you know, it's clarification rather than, you know, it's fine. You know, people who have like, do you do silent treatment?
In relationships?
Yeah.
No, I don't do that.
I feel like you say, I'm not happy with this thing.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you straight up. I don't believe in silent treatment. It doesn't make sense. There's a cold shoulder, right?
Yeah.
Nah, I can't do that. Also, I talk
Your shoulder's always warm.
The only cold shoulder I operate at the tops.
Hey.
Cold shoulder. You know the ones that thingy?
Yeah, of course.
Cold shoulder.
I don't know what you're talking about. No.
I'm dead.
So this was the other question I had for you.
Yeah.
Since you were the youngest, I remember at some point you were like, oh, this is the baby.
Yeah.
But I find you giving advice. Like the last time Fiona was here, you were giving some advice to her.
I was giving advice to
Fiona?
you
were saying like, no, this is how you should manage the things at work. And like you were speaking, I was like, she's a real peer to us.
No, you see, because I go for therapy. So I'm exposed.
How long have you been going for therapy?
I started going for therapy in 2021. I think 2021. It's been like 2 years. I think it's amazing. First of all, I believe therapy. Everyone needs therapy.
Okay.
Every single body. Everybody needs therapy. Okay. Even you. Do you go for
therapy?
therapy?
I'm in therapy.
Oh, awesome.
Of course.
Yeah.
This is therapy. Outside.
No, but it's important because we have so many traumas and things that have happened to us, and they affect the way we do things now as grown-ups, as adults. And even not necessarily to unpack, you know, people like saying unpack, but I mean to understand how to handle things going forward. It's important that you're given the right tools and you're exposed and you have information in hand in order to do the things that you're going to do later, and also not to affect the relationships around you. I think therapy is hella important.
Did it change any of your relationships? I
think so. That's one of the things about me not oversharing, because I feel like I need, as a last born as well, I feel like I need to explain to everyone what I'm doing. And I'm trying to do that less because it's too many opinions, and then I can't even make up my own mind because I'm getting so many opinions. Yeah, it's overload, information overload. Okay. So I'm learning how not to do that anymore. It's a big task, especially if I've been used to doing it. Yeah, but the point of therapy would be to learn and unlearn things. Okay. Yeah.
Have you had to forgive anything? I mean,
I'm still forgiving her.
So I don't know how comfortable. To me, I had things I had to forgive my parents for.
Yeah.
But the hardest thing that I had to learn was forgiveness. Not put it like love and anger have the same structure for me. In that love, whenever I say, like when I say I love you, I'm not just declaring an intention and a feeling that I have for you. I want to know that you love me back. Like I'm saying, I want some desire from you. I want affirmation from you. And so whenever I would feel like, oh, this looks like a one-way street, I keep telling the joke of the time I decided after S6 to go and tell my dad, you know, you paid for school fees, everything, I love you. I'll tell you the story.
No?
He was eating pineapples at his dinner. And then I told my brother, I was like, I'm going to go and tell him I love him. And he said,
had you never said I love you before?
We had never said those words.
Madness.
Never. It's just like, are you okay? Have you eaten? That's it.
No, come on now.
So whenever we visit you guys, we're like, no.
And as you say, I love you
talking
all
about
the time.
Love all the time. We're like, that's too much.
When we hang up the phone, we say I love you, standard.
You see, this is why you guys, I love you, you're close, but it's like a whole different world. I'm like, this is...
No, you must
we're like the Adams family, and you guys are like...
you must love loudly, it's important.
So I took a leaf from that. I was like, I'm going to
tell him. What?
So I went to him, I said, thanks, you paid for school fees, you've done all this stuff. I want to tell you. And before the words came out of my mouth, like I could feel they were heavy. I love you. So when I said it, I remember he looked up at me and was eating his pineapples and he swallowed them whole. He was still like chewing them. And then that man said to me, thanks for the support.
Oh my God, what is the support?
I said, thanks for voting for this political party. Then the next day he gave me 50K.
Oh my God, because he said I love you?
Yeah, but then there's something that broke after there.
Yeah.
That he would now tell me more things like, I'm concerned about this.
Bless.
So I could see he was trying to, he just couldn't say it directly. Now,
But
I think that's how
that.
men are.
Yeah.
Like, and this, maybe because I'm a man, it's
Yeah.
something beautiful about the very fact that we can't just directly say I love you to each other. To us, it's almost like
It's
saying
action.
that love is so, it's like looking at the sun. You can't look at it,
painful.
you just feel the warmth and know it's there. So I guess it's just a different, you guys grew up when you're more comfortable around it, you're more vulnerable around us. We were nerve. That's why those moments stand out. But for me, I had to forgive because part of my personality had been developed in response to growing up the way I did. I grew up in this home where you're loved when you do the right thing.
Correct.
When you get the A's, when you do this. So it was always conditional. So when someone just gives me a compliment or says something, then I'm like, what?
How do I process this?
Like, but why? What have I done? And then I work hard to try. Yeah. Then I work. So I work hard to try and make myself worthy of that love, which is sort of my handicap. So, but I was holding on to it because I was like, I grew up in this home. That's kind of the way I am.
Question. So you said yes, you had to learn to forgive your folks for that. So are you able to say I love you freely now? Not with the parents, but even in your relationships.
Yeah. So the process for me was, again, it goes back to like the conversation where I thought just saying it was enough, but I had to make it a daily practice so that it stops being weird.
Yeah.
And now I think I'm in a much more healthy place. But the thing that I wanted to highlight is that forgiveness meant I had to change. Yeah. Like I had to let go of a part of me that was holding on to that beef. Because when you don't forgive, you're like holding on to that thing.
Did you have a conversation with them? Did you have a conversation with them?
I had it with my mom. It wasn't as accepted. She was like, what do you mean?
What are you talking about?
So I said, okay, thanks. But surprisingly, my dad, like we had a long, it was like a 5-hour conversation where he said, look, I never understood that's how you felt, but this is what I thought I was raising you for, and I was trying to get to this place, and he saw me, I saw him, and it's a weird thing. By the time he said I wanted to apologize, it's like, you don't have to. Like I didn't want his apology.
That's
by the time we got there. Yeah, so we got there and I was like, oh, healing is possible.
That's so nice. I'm so proud of him and proud of you.
Well, then he told me to cut my beard and I was like, oh, that's a step too far.
You had the weirdest dreadlocks in the world.
Hold on. We're going to put a photo here. My dreads, I was sexy.
Joe,
do you know how
you were
attractive
not sexy,
I was?
Bro. You were
it was
not.
about to reach here. My shoulders were big.
Now. I can't. First of all, Joe, so when I even have I have a story. So I thought Joe was like the coolest kid when we were like teenagers. Remember how often he used to come to the house? And because he was saved. And back then, he was a local, and he used to go to church a lot. They had a band, House of Hope, House of what?
House of Prayer.
House of Prayer. HOP. He was in a dance school.
Right.
I don't know what. So he used to be at church all the time, and because my parents live right close to All Saints, so I was back and forth with. He'd go to church and then he'd come over, have tea, whatever, have such a good time. I thought you were the coolest person in the world. I thought you were so cool. I wanted to be around you. Whenever you'd come home, I'm like, oh my God, Joel's here. Oh my God, Joel's here. I thought you were so cool. And then when you went to the Americas, then you came back and I was like, what happened? Did America take it away?
It was a drastic change.
I was like, what
change.
What has happened? But I still think you're cool. But I think it was so. Anyway, you were cool.
So you loved me even through the changes.
I do. I love you still.
You loved me through my hair phases.
I do. I love you through every phase.
It's like my struggle beard.
Oh my God, your struggle connecting thing.
Yeah.
If the beard doesn't connect, though.
It connects. The problem is this part doesn't connect.
They don't talk to you if the beard doesn't connect.
Anyway, when my beard starts connecting, Kampala, be careful. Pregnant everyone.
Oh Lord.
I have a tough question.
You're gonna give
my
me your experience.
Parents are growing older. And that's changed. So the last couple of Christmases, they didn't feel the same. Now, I think the reason it didn't feel the same is I was still having that nostalgic feeling of, parents are going to set up the tree. It's going to be like they settle everything. Now I'm the one doing
the settling.
But the more I do it, the more I see them leaning on me for things, and it's a little weird. And at the same time, I'm also working on this small project that I have conversations with, especially my dad, my mom too a little bit, but mostly him. We sit down and I ask him just about his life, and I try and record it. Now the reason I'm doing that is in his 70s. I hope he's going to be around long enough to see his grandkids, but he might not. So I want them to get to know him beyond like all the other, you can see photos, you can see all those things, but then you never get to hear their voice. You don't know what they thought about different things. So I'm trying to treasure that time, but at the same time, it's kind of scary for me. Because now I'm at the age where I've started seeing loss, and I think the time it hit me the hardest was when my grandmother passed, my dad's mom. And I saw him weeping. Like shaking, and he didn't know what to do, and I was the one who had to kind of step in and help do something. Now at that point, I didn't see him as just my dad. I saw him as a man, I saw him as a person, as someone who's lost a child, someone who needs comfort, and I didn't know how to provide that comfort. And there are times when I feel inadequate in terms of comforting them. So it's a struggle for me, and I realize that many of my friends or many of my age mates, their parents are growing older, and I don't know if we know what they go through or how to comfort them. And like my dad likes to stay alone at home all the time. I have to kick him out and be like, can we come and see friends?
Weren't we supposed to have a play date?
I told him, he used every trick. He said, let me come. Oh, I have to go to Entebbe. Oh, I have to go here. Wow. He dodged in so many ways. So I'm that's a struggle I'm having. I don't know if...
It's the same, because of course now dad, even when because he had a stroke in 2019, I think. And ever since then, and because he was such a force back then, such a force. So seeing that change from the person that he was then to now, and he leans on everyone a lot more, especially my mom, and as a primary caregiver and all that, and it's a lot. But to see someone that you thought was invincible, even to understand that yes, age does catch up with you, and no one is, there's no one immortal. And at the end of the day, it's odd to see that change, and even the dynamic with us, because I mean, we're the ones who chauffeur him around. This is someone who had drivers and whatever, but now it's us who are the drivers. It's wild to see, but it is the path of life. It's just something that you have to accept and also appreciate them even more. That's the thing. Even now, telling people that you love them, you understand, you absolutely have no excuse not to show them love. But it's hard to see, of course. It's hard to see someone who you thought was larger than life, and then now you're calmed down, humbled. It's such a humbling experience as well. Such a humbling experience. Someone, how dad was loud.
I'm going to America. I said, "Come, I tell you about America."
A loud individual, and now he's just chill. It's such a huge transition, but I mean, it's the biggest thing, the most important thing I think is for us to accept that this is the way of life, and it's not just your situation or your dad. It's going to happen to all of us as well. I mean, don't we have bugs under our eyes now? So.
We are in our 30s,
Early 30s for me. I don't know about this guy.
I mean, advanced 30s. Look at Alan's face. Where is he whistling? I'm a young 38. A young.
Anyway, we're proud. First of all, it's my Jesus year.
Yeah, Jesus, yeah.
It's my Jesus year. I just turned 33. I'm so excited about it. But yeah, I think it's just getting closer to the end game. It's the truth.
I'm going to put you on the spot. Do you want to have a family? Do you want to have a marriage and kids?
Why is that on the spot?
Or you can ask people and they'll tell you why you put my business out there.
No, I do.
There's a person who loves you who's watching. That's why I'm saying pressure. But
yes, I do. I would like to have a family, God willing. And I hope I'd be a great mom. I think I'd be a great mom and a good wife.
Isn't that all that's necessary for you to be one, that you hope? Because then it will inform how you'll act.
I guess so. Don't be poor.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, I'm sorry, but yes, he already knows this. He knows how we feel about this.
Jesus, this is that means that from now on things are going to get higher, better and better.
We're moving
towards it.
Shame. Bambi, no pressure, babe. No pressure.
One last thing. Your friends.
Yes.
You have a very close-knit friend group. Are they incorporated with your family? Because I feel like there is like a continuity between your family. Like, I'm very sure people who know me have never met my siblings.
Yeah?
Very few people have met my siblings or know about that part of me. They just know me in this phase. But for you, it's like when you walk in with, these are my people, this is my squad.
I do have quite a number of friends.
How do you juggle all of that?
Well...
Are you juggling? Or you're struggling? You may be struggling.
No, I'm not struggling. Not so much. I have a thing where I treat... Hopefully, I hope they feel this way, is that I treat my friends as very, not the most important, but very, very important in my life. And I feel like when I'm with them, I give them 100% of me. So I think I do have a lot of friends though. I do.
I don't know. I wish I had your energy.
I think I'm just very friendly, and I think, well, I'm not friendly. I think welcoming is the word, and understanding. So I do have a lot of people I consider friends, but it's also taken me a long time to get here, in the sense that I've had to learn how to be more discerning. With I think I had too. Even now, people feel like I have too many friends, but I think I'm just open to listen. And my thing with even friends is that I want to understand the people who people think are not approachable. I'm like, I need to understand why this person is like that, or why people think like that. And I'm like, I'm going for it. Let me see what's up. Let me see what's up. But I treat them, I love them. That's the thing. I think because I love loudly again. Okay. So I feel loved. I think so. Don't you feel loved when I'm with you?
I do. I feel radiant. I've never been happier than at this moment.
Oh, shut up. I think it's a vibe and an energy that I think people...
I feel like when you leave being around people, you leave smiling, you leave happy.
I think so.
For me, sometimes like I love you guys, but bye.
I'm dead. Like your social battery is done.
Yeah, and I don't know how to. Maybe you can. I don't know how to communicate to them that I love you very much, but there's a certain part where if I went out 4 days in a row, that 5th day, I'll feel like there's mental constipation. Like there's so many things I want to digest. There's something you said. I've had time to think about
from people.
Yeah, you definitely.
Yeah, I think that's a thing for me. And I pour out, and then when people give it back to me, that's what I take. I thrive on people. Yeah, and then it's interesting because then my person is an introvert. He's like the opposite.
Now, if you guys were the same,
it would be a bit problematic.
You'd be at home talking all the time.
When he was here, he said, Michelle, you're going to have to give me a little book with descriptions of all these people. Like picture, age, favorite hobbies, because there are too many. He's like, I can't keep track. You'll be like, those people who stand behind like the president, and they go, that is the ambassador. Yes, exactly.
That is they have to brief because you can't embarrass yourself. So like, I think you're going to have
That's what I was doing. I gave him a little like pamphlet, like a guide. He's like, okay, so this one is from where? Who? And then I was like, oh, shame.
Okay. Like, so maybe the last thing I'll say is, how do you stay so joyful?
How?
Because I think when people see you, they feel like you don't have problems.
Man.
But I've known you've like struggled with so many things. Of course, they've talked about like changes at home, then things in your career where you've had to like, as you're advancing, setbacks and whatnot.
Yeah.
With friends, like you've dealt with heavy things, but you never look like your problems.
That is the most important thing, actually. To never look like your problems. It's important not to look like your problems. Yeah. You don't look like your problems.
Right, at all.
Listen, I don't know. I think it's a lot, actually, even with therapy. I learned how, not how do you say it? Not wusa, basically the wusa, like to calm yourself.
Center yourself.
Yes, to center myself. And that was the past 2 years, but I think, they usually say the happiest people are the saddest somehow, but I would like to say for me, that's not true. I try to look at the glass half full as opposed to half empty. And I think I learned it from my mom, because mom, she doesn't look like her problems. If you see my mother, she's beautiful. She's wow. But, I think from her, I just I don't know, like she radiates light. She radiates peace and grace. I wish I was graceful. I don't think I'm graceful at all.
You are. Look at how gracefully you're speaking.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
No, I practiced. But yeah, I don't know how to, if it's joy, I think anyway, also Jesus, yeah. It's God, I think. It's God a lot of the time. A lot of the time.
Why are you looking at me like that?
But yes, I think it's God a lot of the time. And I think just being as positive as I absolutely can, regardless of the situation. And of course, at the end of the day, it's going to get better. Eventually, it has to. Yeah, it has to.
I would encapsulate it. I think you are definitely your mom's daughter.
Yeah.
Because I think she is the personification of the joy of the Lord is my strength. And
Amen.
I've always liked joy more than happiness, because joy doesn't need the situation to change. It's just saying, in the midst of this, regardless, I will find a way to enjoy and to, find something positive. And then in that, you create the joy in the world around you. So.
And also, if you take that in and you just also give it to other people. And also, we get a lot of that. If you're going to make other people happy, then it's going to come back to you. Karma, I believe in that. I have a random question for you.
Oh.
Would you date you?
Come on, let me say my ass.
Oh my God.
Fire. No. Would I date me?
Would you date you?
Yes, but I don't think we would have a long-lasting relationship. No, it would be a codependent relationship.
Codependent?
Yeah, because the person I dated was closest to me in personality.
Yeah.
We just stayed where we were. I stopped having a type.
Yeah, you should absolutely.
Because when I had a type, to me, what I was saying to myself is, I want someone who's not going to change me. Like, I wanted to just get someone who'd fit into my life.
But then you have to change, though.
And that's what love is supposed to be. So it's not a healthy thing.
Yeah.
So I'm really good if you want to be provided for, if you want someone to have, I can be sweet, I can be there. But I'm difficult when it comes to how can you love me. My reception of love, I have certain ways in which I can receive it. So the person will have to be patient in knowing that there are all these big things they would want to do for me, and I might not appreciate them as much as sitting silently with me in an evening. Like, the small things matter more to me because I can receive them much better. It's like when you guys say I love you effusively. It's very hard for me to be there, but if it's down here where someone's like, I made you tea.
That is it.
Yeah.
Mama.
So
you're like, that's so sweet.
Yeah.
Okay, so you would date you. But
I think I would, yeah.
Yeah?
Have
oh my God.
Cute ass kids.
Oh my God.
Imagine our kids, they'll be so cute.
I can't do this, boy. I can't. I'm done.
Thank you so much. This is Michie B. You can find her on Instagram, Twitter, wherever people are cool and doing cool things. And thank you for watching. Cheers.